Vážení přátelé, vítám vás na prezentaci European Design Stories. Mé jméno je Adam Štěch, jsem jedním ze spoluautorů tohoto projektu, který děláme ve spolupráci s festivalem designSUPERMARKETu. A mou milou povinností je přivítat naše hosty z Itálie. A teď už změním jazyk na angličtinu, protože tady máme právě je a i nějaké zahraniční diváky, takže od teďka budeme mluvit v angličtině. So I'm very happy to have you here, Giorgia Zanellato and Domenico Rocca. Please come here. The guys are our friends from Italy. Domenico is from Milan, Giorgia is from Treviso, and both are designers, or Domenico is architect who is interested in design and interiors, and both are quite very interesting forces of contemporary Italian design today, and both from a little bit different way. Giorgia is one of the talents of the youngest generation or younger generation, and Domenico is really special with his friend Alberto Nespoli. They together founded the company called Segno Italiano, and they are pretty interested in rediscovering Italian craft and design heritage. So they will talk about it soon. But first I would like to introduce a little bit more our project, European Design Stories, which is kind of in progress now since this year. And the project is the collaboration of our creative collective of OKOLO with my colleagues Jan Klos and Matěj Činčera, and between designSUPERMARKETu and which is directed by Darina Zavadilová. And the main platform for a project is this website. It's called EuropeanDesignStories.com, and the aim of the project is a documentation of interesting design stories around Europe. During this year we have visited like 7 countries, and we documented interesting design studios, brands, companies, workshops or architecture with the aim to little bit look behind the curtain, to talk with designers about their ideas, about their working process, and everything document in some sophisticated way on this website, which you can on the website you can discover like interviews, small video documents, photo essays, and much more. And also it's not just this website, but it's also a series of exhibitions, which the first from these exhibitions is held during this designSUPERMARKETu, one floor downstairs, and it's called Work in Progress, and it kind of show the work in progress on this project. So now I would like to show you very quickly why we do this project and what we document during our trips to Austria, Switzerland, Germany, Italy, Slovenia, Liechtenstein, and Slovakia. The starting point was where our magazines, which we published with OKOLO since 2009, and 3 of them are based on a specific particular location. The first one was Vienna, the second one was Liguria, which was also done in small collaboration with Domenico here, we actually met during this during production of this magazine. The last one was OKOLO in Lausanne, and in Switzerland. Yeah, so these were these specific locations, and this project kind of continue with this really great experience to visit designers in their studios, to talk with them, to have really fun with friends on the road, but also to document some serious informations. And that's why we are doing also European design stories, and a little bit combine our personal perspective of design with serious informations which we are trying to discover. Just really briefly, because the guys will talk much more interesting than me. So there is a selection of pictures from our trips we did. We have visited Vienna, for example. It was the first trip to Vienna and around. We have talked to Valentin Vodev, which is Bulgarian designer living in Vienna, and he works on a bicycle concept. He developed interesting folding bicycles like this Velo. We talked to Chmara Rozinke, which is Polish design duo, also living in Vienna. They are interested in nomadic structures and kind of nomadic lifestyle of design. We talked to Dietmar Steiner, a really interesting, cool curator of Architekturzentrum in Vienna, who created very interesting. Yeah, this is our car. We are traveling like that. We also visited this beautiful garden of Stahlmühle Distillery in Bavaria, close to Bodensee. This is the cellar designed by Philipp Meitzner, and so you see it's really diverse topics of design and architecture, but we like this diversity to show what everything can be. Kind of creative thinking and design thinking can be applied to really different works. By the trip, we usually or always we set up some schedules of interviews and visits, like with these guys. But also during the trip, we saw a lot of things kind of naturally. We stopped by somewhere, so for example we saw beautiful architecture in Bregenz. This is Peter Zumthor Kunsthaus in Bregenz. This is village of Krumbach. It's a small village in Vorarlberg region in western Austria, and you see it's a small bus station which is kind of not so traditional bus station, and it's by So Fujimoto, a Japanese architect, who was one of the 7 architects invited for the project in Krumbach to design bus stops in collaboration with local craftsmen. So we filmed the bus stops, and this is our paparazzi team. Everybody's shooting all the details, and really enjoy this discovering of things. This is another bus stop by Belgian practice, De Wilder Tiley Devington. And we also find some really obscure things. This is in Vaduz in Liechtenstein. We stopped by because this is the one. It's a first historical realization of really famous Cuban architect Ricardo Porro, who is famous for designs of 1960s Academy of Arts in Havana. And after his exile, he designed really interesting but yet really bizarre structure of art centrum in Vaduz. Yeah, and we also take some bath, but unfortunately they were closed, and it's one of the most iconic structure of contemporary architecture since 1990s by Peter Zumthor in Vals, in really small village of Vals in Switzerland. We also visited Casa Molino in Turin, where we talked to Fulvio Ferrari, one of the coolest guy I have met, the curator of Italian design and one of the biggest experts of design in general. And actually he was here at designSUPERMARKETU 3 years ago. For example, he bring us to this amazing bar in Turin, which is some really old bar where we enjoyed a little bit. He also advised us to visit this great original interior of restaurant from the 60s called Gatto Nero, like Black Cat. It was designed by architects De Pietro De Rossi in 60s. So just to have an idea what we are interested in, that it's not just like our task that we need to make, like, I don't know, 10 interviews, but we also really like broaden our interests during the trip. This is guy Pier Giorgio Robino from Nucleo Studio in Turin, also really fun guy. We also visited Francesco Facci. It's a designer. He works for very famous Enzo Mari, the legend in Milan. He has a really nice studio in Milan. We have also visited Fondazione Prada with the Wes Anderson designed cafe, really beautiful space. I guess one of the best museum which I saw. Did you visit? Also production of Azucena company, which is quite a cult brand of modernist Italian design. And also we have to climb mountains because we need to get some remote locations like Vals or some reports we did in Como Lake. And this is very interesting stuff, like postmodern prototypes of radios we found in Bratislava Design Museum, which is really interesting organization or institution which collect design from Czechoslovak history, and really great job they are doing. We also visited, it's not so visible, but there is kind of UFO building in the middle of the picture, and it's also really strange project in the middle of Slovenian village called Vitanje. It's a cosmic or space research center, which was which was built as a homage to Hermann Potočnik Nordung, which was some scientist who was born close to this. We also saw the production of very wood chairs, also very interesting Italian company. We also saw Studio Zaven in Venice. We also saw the partner of Giorgia Zanellato, Daniel Bortotto, in their Treviso studio. She will talk something more. And also we visited on the Halloween night. We visited one of the most famous cemeteries in the world. It's a Brian Vega cemetery by Carlos Scarpa. from the 70s. It's really kind of sculptural architecture in the landscape. Yeah, and this was our last stop at the moment. It is in Austrian village called Riding, and this is a puppet made. It's like portrait of the guy who is running the project called Riding Foundation, and it's a project that he is inviting Japanese architects to build some small structures around this really small village. So also really interesting story how design can live in our lives and can influence lives of people who actually don't take care much about design at all. So this is my presentation just to show what is the content of Design Stories project, and all the materials, all the articles, interviews, movies from these studios and architecture you saw now, you can check on our website, but not now. Now we have like 5 stories ready, but all the stories will come slowly, and I hope more quickly than before. And now I would like to, before the guys will talk about their activities, I would like to show you one of the freshly finished video we did, and it's about bus stop project in Austrian village of Krumbach. So what about sound? You can check the video at the exhibition downstairs. So maybe we will skip this. Sorry. Yeah. So I will take the microphone to Domenico, who will present his Segno Italiano project. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. First, I want to thank you, Adam, and all of the staff, because I strongly believe that they're very passionate, and even if they're a bunch of fellas, they're doing things properly. So I'm very glad and very happy to be here. Okay, what about Segno Italiano? This is how we define ourselves. So Segno Italiano is the culture of Italian crafted products. We are a company, and I want to mark that because we've been able to mix what is a part, which is a research, and what is another, that is the dirty marketing. We basically research all over Italy the small workshop that we have, and we put them together under our brand. This means to give them more strength. This means to create a network of them in such a way that we expand their own market in order to save their specific skills. And then, of course, we distribute them all around the world. This is me and my partner. A bit of shame. The philosophy is the research of the pureness of the specific skills that we have in the workshop. Just to be clear, we we follow the movement of slow food. I don't know if you guys here in Czech Republic knows that, but basically we look for what we are very able and very specific production. Let's say we distribute and we promote and we edit a specific kind of chair that is done in Liguria, for instance. That's why the people there, I mean, there are surviving only 2 workshops over there. They are able to do that kind of chair. And it goes through the whole workshop that we visit. We just step in very, very slowly. We talk to these, mostly of the time, all the artisans. And we talk to them, let them understand that the market is wider. Their product, that most of the time they're getting fed up, are still properly done, are still appealing, are still proper for the market. We work such in a way that we don't research randomly. We define what we call scenarios. So basically we select products that in the first case they can stand around the table. So it's called la tavola imbandita, it means set it up tables. So we started from the chair that I took before. This is the lightest chair ever, the one that Gio Ponti copied, let's say, doing his own super leggera. Then went forward with the ceramic. This is a white ceramic that it looks like porcelain from Padua. And then, why not pens? These are still hand-beated with pure tin inside, and then copper handles, brass handles, made in Trentino. Then went down to Tuscany, where they do these green glasses. The story tells that at the very beginning the sand used to do this, the glass was dirty, so it didn't come out super clean, but with the greenish flavor. So right now they are doing we are using chemical color, but you know the story helps always. Always in Tuscany, knives. All of these things that you see are done by hand. I mean, of course we repeat some process, but each product passes from one end to the other till the end. This is our new collection, the latest one. Is pewter. Pewter was a forgotten material, forgotten mix of steel. It's a metal, sorry, yeah, thank you. And it used to be toxic because as piombo inside. So far, they changed the production, they avoid that, and it became, you know, freshly new. Even if we keep the same design, I have to say that most of the time we don't modify the design. Even if you have a team of designers inside my company, we are more stricter to respect the style, respect the production, and let's say do some little changes. We are proud to let the people understand which is the history behind it. This is the second one. We call it vivere all'aria aperta. It means outdoor living. And once again, this is the Tripolina chair. Yeah, this is a funny story because actually it was stolen from England, and our army, when they did the war in Libya, they brought it down there, and that's why they took the name from Tripolina, actually from Tripoli, the city. And for instance, this is a case where we went to Palazzo Bianco in Genova, which has been restored by Franco Albini in the 50s. and used this chair. But basically became forgotten. So we went there, we took some pictures, we just retraced the knit on the leather, and we reproduced it. Once again, a work about the baskets. Those actually come from Sardinia. Hammock from Monte Isola, which is a small island close to Brescia.
What is really special in this Sardinian basket technique, or
Well, I mean, the technique is the most traditional technique you can ever find. It's funny because they use this small, the more darker lines, stripes that you see are mirto, which is, smell gracefully. As I said, we do also have an interior design, let's say, team. And so we also design spaces, but such in a way that we are more focused on the object rather than the spaces. It means that, for instance, when we design a restaurant, we try to use our copper pans in the kitchen, we try to use our chairs in the hall, and so on. So basically we started the project thinking about how the objects are done, then like the spaces are. So we did, for instance, a restaurant in Salzburg, an apartment in Paris. We did also exhibition like for fairs. This is our studio in Milano. And this is a cheese store that we are doing here in Czech Republic. This is the latest project we did in Milano. This is an homage to Infomari, as Adam told before. So we had a small budget, but so we took his book, Infomari's book, which is called Autoprogettazione. In the 70s, he basically invented IKEA before the others. So he did a book, and he sent it to the client, so you can build your own chairs, your own table, following his instruction. It was an IKEA Interlithium, an unbelievable project. Our strength is also doing exhibition. It means when we promote objects, it's not we just put it on a website and we hope to sell it. We do exhibition, like I would say dramatic exhibition, such in a way you have to fall in love with that. This is what specifically done about ceramics. It was in partnership with Antonio Maras, a fashion designer, an Italian fashion designer. Once again with them some decorated plates. This is an exhibition we did about the basket in a museum in the very center of Milano. We gave them a specific character because each of them come from different regions. In Italy we have this lucky that even if you do 200 kilometers things change. So if you do a basket in Sardinia, it's done in a way. If you do it in Liguria, it's completely different. For instance, well, that one in the back.
What was the client of this?
This was a foundation. It was done during the it's called days of craft days, European artistic craft days. It's done in partnership with Paris. So they do the exhibition in Paris and contemporary in Milano. Once again, Salone del Mobile with Antonio Maras, and the latest in Paris at the Merci shop. So this is another thing that we do. So we take the most traditional products and we just edit something. In this way, we just put some fabric around it. We woven some fabric around it under the design by Antonio, and the basket became little bags.
Can you tell us something more about your collaboration with Antonio Maras? Who is it? Because probably
well,
you guys don't know.
Antonio Maras is a pretty famous fashion designer. Even it belongs to the main fashion system, even if it's a small company. He came from Sardinia, so he brought with all the heritage he has from Sardinia, and he translated it into his habits, his events, his of course collection. He's a very prolific guy. I mean, he does a ton of things apart from the fashion system. And it's funny because we met by chance once at his store, and he was impressed by the ceramic, and he was like, immediately, why don't we do something together, guys? And of course we said, yes, let's do it. This is once again this collection, the Pewter thing, and we did it in a very nice bar club in Milano. And it was funny because of course they do their own gin, and we shake it in our shaker. We used to love our products. We don't want to, to be put on, in a museum or in a stand or something. We wish people to touch them, to use them, because this kind of thing are not understandable only by a picture. They're not only understandable by seeing that and that. So you have to use it. You have to use it even for ages to understand how much is their own value. Well, some press.
because you are also you double as a model.
Yeah, I have the Shadow project, which is a modeling. No, I'm just kidding. Any question? Would be very appreciated.
I would like to maybe ask about how the craftsmen and the companies you are visiting react on your project. How it's difficult to include them in your collection, and what they are saying about this, about the fact that you want to distribute them in kind of a little bit different way than they are familiar with.
Well, I have to say that we started actually from scratch with an A4 with some words written on it. So at the very beginning, we weren't that much trustable. But so far, they see the result, they see what we do, and of course they see that we can distribute their product. They only understand, they can love the project, they can love ourselves, they can, love the idea that the product are the most beautiful in the world. But since they don't sell, the selling, they don't trust you. So it is always, very, very, how can I say, very difficult, because it's a matter seriously on relationship. You have to go there, talk to them directly, and let understand that the project has a value. Of course, they're not used to have, online contacts, selling products online, this kind of stuff. But this is the time period that the economy system are changing. It is changing. So they are not used anymore to send container to US or this kind of stuff. They are getting used to, sell one little thing to Japan, one little thing to Australia, one little thing to Austria, this kind of stuff. But it's just a matter to let them understand, give them the time to understand, and at the end that they follow us.
And did you also think about some, really your work in collaboration with the craftsmen you selected, that you really design your design of product?
Actually, we designed the shaker.
Okay.
But we, as a rule, we didn't want to design. I mean, there's a lot to do around the products that we left behind the designer. Right now we're growing, so stores, press, people, our followers, they're asking us, you know, to design something, because we are able to do that actually. So we just started, but I'm not still sure that we're gonna grow on that way, because there's seriously a lot to discover and a lot of things that, you know, beautiful like they are, beautiful by themselves.
Someone else? Questions? Thank you, Domenico.
Thank you.
Now, this was a little bit about the tradition of Italian craft and design, and now the future of Italian applied art. So, please.
Maybe I don't need the microphone. Do you prefer me to use? Maybe it's better? Yeah.
Just for the
okay.
video.
Ah, okay. Can I see? No.
Sorry.
So, hello everyone, and thank you to invite me here, Adam and all the staff. I'm very happy to be here. So, I'm Giorgia Zanellato. I'm a product designer from Italy. I was born in Venice and now I work in Treviso. So, my story starts in Treviso, where I studied at UAB University. Treviso is a very small city next to Venice, and what I studied there was a lot of theory and books, because, you know, Italian design history is very, very big. So the university there is basically very theoretical and not very practical. So these were some of my teachers that are very famous architects, like Franco Clivio, which is a Swiss designer, Michele De Lucchi, which is an Italian architect, and Tobias Scarpa, which is actually the son of Carlo Scarpa, a very famous architect, the one that designed the cemetery Adam showed before. So this was the average age of my teacher there. And so I was not very happy with it at the end. I wanted to do a master's, so I moved to, I forgot something. So they were teaching basically that form follows function. This is the Italian way to teach design, from my experience. So I was happy with it, but I wanted to improve more in drawing shapes and colors. I wasn't very satisfied with the aesthetic of the objects, because when you need to buy an object, you look about the shape and the colors, not only the function. We have to be honest, when I buy something, I also look at that. So I decided to move to Lausanne in Switzerland, to ICAL University. Maybe some of you know, and yeah, this was more the aesthetic of that university. So it's very fashionable, very experimental, and very trendy. So they teach that design is cool there, and these were the teachers. So they were much younger and much cooler, maybe, and I really enjoyed that experience too. So after that, while I was studying in Switzerland, I applied in Fabrica, which is this place. It's in Treviso again, and it's a Benetton research center. You know Benetton, the cloth company. They have this huge research center founded by Oliviero Toscani, which is the photographer that followed all the 80s campaign from Benetton, the very provocative ones. So I applied there because you could get a 1-year scholarship there. And it's an international place, very interesting. So I get there, and this was the team. In this picture, we were in Beirut, Lebanon, and we were doing a project. So as you can see from the pictures, there are people from Japan, Portugal, England, France, and then Beirut, and then Lebanon, and France again. So yeah, the team is very international, and I enjoyed a lot. Spending my year there. After my first year, I decided to stay more. I mean, they asked me to stay more. So I'm still there as a product design consultant. And what I learned there is that design can tell a story. And this I didn't learn before, but I think it's very important. If when you design something, there is a story behind that you can tell to the public, then they get something more and they remember it more. And I think, yeah, that's what I appreciate about that. So what do I do now? Now I work for myself. I work for Fabrica as a consultant. And then I recently opened a studio with my friend Bortotto, the one that Adam showed before, and we founded Zanellato Bortotto Studio. So this is the percentage, more or less. So I don't work so much for myself, but I work for Fabrica and mainly with Daniele. So what do I do? My design story, let's say, started with this project that I did during my ICAL master. It's called Narciso. So I wanted to design something functional but beautiful in the same time, because I learned a lot about function in Italy, and then I moved to ICAL and I learned a lot about aesthetics. So I wanted to design a vase, but a functional vase. So what's the function of the vase? To show flowers. And I decided to use a mirror as a tool to display better flowers and to show them from different perspectives. So this is the collection that at the end came out, and each of them shows the flowers from a different point of view. I mean, that was what I tried to do. And yeah, so you can see that when you change the flowers, the vase changed completely, and that was the fun part for me as well, the interesting part. So with this product, I was for the first time contacted by a company. Petite Friture is a French company, and with them we industrialized the piece and we brought it to Maison Objet in 2012, and it was my first experience in the market, so that's why for me this project is important. After that I was selected for Design Parade, which is a French competition, which is in Hyères. It's a very beautiful competition, and I had the fortune to exhibit there. And a gallerist from Milan called Luisa Delle Piane saw the Narciso project, and she asked me to buy it, let's say, to have it in her collection, and she allowed me to exhibit it during Milan Furniture Fair in 2013. And together with this project, she asked me a new project, and she said, do whatever you want. So I was like, okay, I'll do something that a company maybe doesn't really allow me to do. So I really like contrast between materials, and it was very fascinating by this is a market in Istanbul. It's a picture from the market, and it was fascinating how people stock sheet of marble or sheets of plexiglass. They all stock in the same way. I really like that concept, and I came out with a collection of 6 pieces that mix marble and plexiglass together. And what I really like about that was that there was a strong contrast between marble and plexiglass. So marble, it's a very elegant and precious and rich material, whereas plexiglass is more pop and, let's say, cheap. Not cheap in the sense of the money, but aesthetically cheaper. And so this was my first year I exhibit with her in her gallery, which is in Milan. Yeah. So after that, I've been asked from her again this year to design a new collection for her gallery, and I decided to work with neon lights because I was very fascinated by neon lights, especially by the reflection of the neon lights, not the direct light, but the reflection of it. So this on the right is a first prototype, and what I wanted to communicate with this collection, it's very, how can I say, it's, okay, I don't find the word. It's very sculptural, not very functional, of course. But the idea is to show how the neon can have double sides. So in one side of the lamp you can see the neon lights, and in the other side the neon is hidden, but you just see the color of it, the reflection of it. So this is during the show in Milan. I exhibit during the Milan Furniture Fair this year, 2015, and these are the lamps. So when the neon is hidden, you see the colors, and vice versa. So this is the work I still do as myself, as Giorgia. And so I want to keep this collaboration with galleries by myself because it's a very precious opportunity for me. Other projects, I did also other projects, like I will do very fast. This is a collection of combs made out of hair, human hair. And then this is some lamps I did for Atipico, which is an Italian brand. This is a project I did with In Residence, which is a collective of people that they made a book. Maybe you know them.
We have them also.
Ah, great. So this was a one-shot product And then this one I did for a London Design Festival, for Vera Chapter, which is another big show that takes place since a few years. And then this was another project I did with a fashion brand. This is another lamp I did for the same gallery, Luisa Delle Piane, 3D printed jewelry. And then this is a chair I made with a company from Italy, Manzano, which is the Italian chair district. So then, Fabrica. So what do we do in Fabrica? In Fabrica we are a big team, we are around 40 people, and my team is around 12 people, and we do projects for clients. In this case, Daikin, you know, the conditioner company, came to us and asked us to design something that was showing the air, because they do air conditioning. So we decided to not show the air itself, but to show the effect of the air, to consider the air as a protagonist of the installation. So in that case, in the case up there, we show the volume of the air, which is inside the balloon, and the strength of the air that bends the metal sheets. And then in this one, in the bubble, we show how the air could shape the glass, so how the air could shape a material. And then in the other one, it was a big machine working thanks to the air. And in this project, we also collaborate with Forma Fantasma, which is a duo of Italian designers working in the Netherlands. But we do also more industrial projects. So this is a collection of tableware made for the brand Atipico, which is an Italian brand. And here the inspiration came from different countries. We are an international team, so we were exploring different ways of eating. Like Japanese people have many plates in the table, Italians have only two. Or like the carafe was inspired by a Scottish old carafe from Dean Brown, which is another Scottish designer. And this is a bread box inspired by Germany. So we tried to mix them together and to create a collection that was very coherent together. And then we also do some interactive projects, because we have the interactive team. We have the photography team, the video team, and in this case I decided to work with the interaction one. So these are some lamps that are connected with your Facebook, and through your Facebook they can check the weather. So there are 11 lights animation that change relating to the weather you have in your country. So for example, the idea is that you give one to your boyfriend that lives abroad, and you'll know always which weather he's having. Like if it's very hot, of course it will be red, or if it's raining, the light is, how do you say, like that, blinking, yeah. And so this animation shows the weather. And so what I really enjoyed about Fabrica is that there is the opportunity to work with different fields, like for example interactive or music. I think that's very important for a designer too. And yeah, other project I did for Fabrica very quickly. This was glass pieces inspired by fruits. That was the concept. This is the Net Caban, part of the Next Caban, and this project was exhibited for 1 year at the Triennale Design Museum in Milan. And then this is Tatera. It's a project, it's an object to put next to your desk, because actually if you work in your computer and you have a plant next to it, there is a theory that said that you can be more productive. So we did a deep research about that, and at the end we decided to do this small object where you can put your plants and desk accessories on it. So this is a collaboration with Taiping, which is a French carpet brand. And then this is a fun project for L'Arcobaleno, which is a very big design online shop by Ambra Mehta. It was unfortunately. And this is another project we did for Airbnb. With Fabrica always, during this Milan Furniture Fair. So what do I do with Daniele? So this is Daniele and me in our new studio. We are in a co-working, so it's a big wax company, old wax company, and we work there with a curator, a web designer, a graphic designer, an artist. So it's with different people, and we have our small corner there. which is this one. And so we started participating to Salone Satellite. I don't know if you've ever been to Milan Furniture Fair, but there is a part inside the fair which is called Salone Satellite, and they give opportunity to young people to exhibit there. So we decided to apply thanks to IKEA scholarship from Switzerland. And so while we were in Switzerland, we were missing a lot our country and our city. So we decided to dedicate this collection to the city of Venice, where I am from. And we've been around the city collecting pictures from the city. And we were very fascinated by the phenomenon of acqua alta, which is the high water, high tide. In Venice it happens that the water rises up and covers the street. And then when it disappears, it left a lot of traces in the walls. So out of it, we designed some textiles together with Rubelli. Rubelli is a luxury textile company based in Venice. It's a very historical company. So we ring the bell there and we said, we have this project, and they were like, no. But then we sent them pictures, and at the end we managed to get it done, and we were very happy because we just started, so it was very hard for us to get in touch with them. And so together with them we did these textiles, inspired by the pictures from the wall and how the high water, the acqua alta, ruined them. And then we did also this rug, which was inspired by the steps of Venice and how they change colors through the water. And then this is La Sarina, it's a marble lamp, which if you touch it at the bottom is more ruined, like in the column of Venice, the water with the salt ruin and damage the column. It has the same effect, and we did it with another artisan from Venice. And these we did them with Massimo Lunardon, which is a very famous glass blower, and they're inspired by these passerelle. I don't know in English how can I say, but with the shape of that tube and where you work on when there is this phenomenon. And then the last one is this one. It's a perfume diffuser made with the Salviati, which is a Murano glass company, and it's inspired by bricole, which are these poles in the middle of the lagoon that are useful to sign the way to the boat to drive. And so we also designed the fragrance with Lorenzo Danteferro, which is another perfume master from the area. So we try to explore the city from different point of view, the smell, the touch, the view, and we try to work with all artisans from the area. And we exhibit at Satellite, but then Rubelli gave us their palace in Canal Grande where we exhibited. We were very, very happy, and then we had other occasions to exhibit this project. And during Salone Satellite, which is this fair, Patrizia Moroso, which is the owner, the art director of Moroso Company, passed by, and she was really fascinated by the textiles. So she contacted us and she asked for a collaboration. And the year later, so in 2014, we presented at Milan Furniture Fair for the brand Moroso this collection called La Serenissima. So there was a sofa, actually we made two, and then two tables that the blue is the water, and as you can see the detail of the legs comes from the passerelle, and it's still inspired by the city of Venice. So yeah, we were very lucky, like from young designers, to be in touch with her directly. That was a great opportunity, and that's why I suggest the experience in the Satellite if someone is interested. I think it was very useful for us. And yeah, these are some other pictures. That is the sofa during the fair. And then we are very fascinated by the city because we are all tourists somehow, and when we go in a city we have a memory of it. That's very important, and that's very interesting. So me and Daniele often like to start from a city to develop a project. This is another project we just presented for Opere, which is a festival a bit like the one you're doing here. So a design festival that happens in Turin, which is a city in the north of Italy, northwest of Italy. So we went to this city to get inspired, and what we were really fascinating about is the palaces that are in the city. The city is very how can I say it? Monumental and rich. So we were fascinated by the facades of these palaces, and we chose 3 palaces that for us were very important, that were Palazzo Madama, Palazzo Carignano, and Palazzo Reale, and we've been in touch and collaborating with an artisan which does terrazzo, which is this material, and mosaic, which is the glass small tiles. So as terrazzo is a technique mainly from Veneto and not from Turin, we didn't want to work with that, so we turned to work with mosaic. And we did a collection of rugs. They're very big. Here you cannot understand the proportion in the pictures, but it's a series of rugs inspired by the facades of the palaces in Turin. And the materials are marble, glass, and stones. And we found out with a special resin that we could join them together and make a flexible object. So it's like a rug for the outdoor. And now we're still developing this project because we would like to get it further. Maybe for a gallery it would be easier than for a company, but we are still researching.
It was like 2 weeks ago, the exhibition.
At the beginning of November. No, December, I don't remember.
December.
November, a couple of weeks ago. It's very recent, but... And then, so I had the chance to get selected for the American Academy in Rome. So in Rome there are different academies. There are the German Academy, the American one. I didn't know. I just got an email saying, do you want to apply? I applied and I had the big chance to get selected. So I spent 4 months at the American Academy in Rome. So so I developed a project inspired by the city of Rome this time. So this is the academy, and these are some pictures from my experience. And so we start with Daniele to looking for artisans again in the city of Rome. And what we found out is that all the artisans that are still working in the city of Rome are linked with the church, because cardinals, like the church is the biggest client for them now. And I found that very interesting. So we were like, okay, why to not then create and design a collection inspired by the liturgic and ecclesiastic furniture and ornaments. So we did a research on that, and we designed a collection that now I cannot show you yet because it's not produced. So now we are working to produce yet, maybe, the aim is to exhibit it there during the Jubilee. So the Jubilee just started, and we wanted to exhibit it next year, basically. And it's a whole collection. There are 10 objects inspired by this kind of Catholic ornaments, but that people want to have in their house. And they're gonna be made by Roman artisans again. So also the materials are related with the history of Rome.
Will be the next city?
I don't know. Next city will be Tunisia, how do you say? We are presenting a sofa for Maison Objet inspired by that city. Because a Tunisian company contacted us, and so we did some research and we tried to present a sofa inspired by that. And so other projects. This is a collection of furniture for kids, so kids' bedrooms. That grows up with the kids. So this, for example, is a crib that first it has 2 heights, so you can put the kid when it's very young, and then when it grows up more, it becomes a sofa, a small sofa for them. And then we did also this kind of blackboard that then can become a desk that has 2 heights. So it's a collection of 30 pieces actually inspired by the kids, done all made in Italy. And then we did a collaboration with Alcantara, which is this fabric that is kind of leather, but it's totally synthetic. They use it for the inside of the cars. And we've been contacted by Maxi Museum, which is a big museum in Rome. And we did this collaboration with the brand and other designers like Patricia Orchiola, Stefano Giovannoni, Paola Navone. So we were very glad to be part of this team. And then we started also a collaboration with this brand called Jelly that they do silicone, and this is a perfume diffuser. So basically you put the perfume in the ceramic, because if you don't glaze the ceramic cannot absorb the perfume. So this is a simple industrial product, let's say. And then we did also a collaboration with a jail, a prison. How can I say prison? In Bollate, which is a city next to Milan. And so we went there and we worked with the prisoners there, and we were like, okay, so what do you need as an object? And they were like, we don't have space, we need shelves. So we designed these shelves in collaboration also with Moroso, that gave us all the leftover textiles. And then we designed some special perfume that were reminding the prisoners the smell of the outdoor, so like rain, grass, and so maybe there is another, maybe not, sorry. Yeah, you can see there is a small box there with some perfume wax, so prisoners could put the wax in the wood to absorb the perfume and give them kind of comfort. Yeah, and this is another project with Jelly, which is a simple desk mirror where people can put their keys and stuff, or jewels. And yeah, that's it. Maybe it was too fast. No.
It was intense. Thank you very much. I would like to maybe ask you, what do you think, both of you, do you think about the contemporary Italian design scene? What is it about today? What is the main challenge for young designers in Italy like you, for example?
So it's a very big challenge, because we are a lot, like not only in Italy, but I guess all over the world. Like design now, it's more and more explored. But in my point of view, I think there is space for everyone, because design is not only to design a chair that is gonna produce in 1,000 copies, but it's also what Domenico is doing, what I'm doing is also research, is also communication, it's also experimentation, or analyzing situations. I think, in my opinion, there is space for everyone. So yeah, I'm happy if everyone found his own way to express design.
And do you believe that there's a kind of Italian design identity still, which was really strong during the 60s?
In my opinion, no, not at all, and I hope it will not, because I don't believe in, like, I believe in internationality now. Like many young people are going to study abroad, and I think it's very good, because because in that way Italian university can understand that they can change and they can improve. Because now the design world shows that Italian schools are not the best anymore, unfortunately, even if they were the best teachers. And I really enjoyed the past of Italian design, but now I think we shouldn't be stuck with the Italian history, but we should go further.
And when you compare your Italian university account, we were talking about it on Skype interview together. If like ECAL, it's really strict in some stylistic way, but it's much more let's say good for preparing for the real work.
Yeah, exactly. I think both the schools were very good, and there should be a mix, because like ECAL was very practical and very aesthetic, let's say, whereas the Italian university is very theoretical. So when you do an Italian university, at least when I finished mine, I wasn't ready for the real world. So I think there should be a balance between both, but I don't think one is best. I think I was happy to have the opportunity to do both of them.
For about identity, because graph it's
we decided not to design, so I'm kind of regretting what is going on right now in the design system. Even if we have still good designer, I believe, and luckily still in Milano. mean, so far is a mess, because the problem is that anyone right now has the chance, I mean, has the opportunity to produce. Producing is not a problem. What is going to happen is from the production to the rest. I imagine that when you do a project for Luisa delle Piane, of course you do by your own desire, by your own wishes, and this is a gallery. When you do this, when you design from Fabrica, you have a client and ask you for something. The point is when you have to design thinking to no one or an entity that it's supposed to sell your thing. This is the mess, because I mean, industry produces, are still producing, but you know that it's putting things on top of the others, and it's hard to distinguish what is a value, what in a matter value in a matter of money, value in a matter of materials, value in a matter of story which is behind the object, which is very, very, very important, because you buy something because you get in love with it, and that's it. Of course, I mean, how much it costs is a matter, but you have to like it deeply. And the point is to show the people, to let them understand what is your story, what is your own story. Because I mean, if you see mine, I mean not mine, but you know, if you see a chair of mine, if you don't see this, or if you don't know the story which is behind it, and you see it in the middle of 1,000 chairs during the Salone del Mobile, you don't understand. You really don't understand. So it takes time. It takes, you know, patience from the public, which is more and more less. I mean, I mean, me myself, anybody gives less and less time to understand things in general, and so it's tough. And I'm saying that because I see both parts. I see what it means producing things, and I see what it means sell things. And trust me, I mean, it's more hard to sell than make.
Thank you. Thank you very much for our Italian visit and guests, and enjoy Design Supermarket. And for everybody who wants to know something more about Giorgia or work of guys from Segno Italiano, or in general about our project, please see the exhibition downstairs or grab the posters here where all the informations are also. So thank you very much, and enjoy.